you are moving on, I'm going to shift forward from child's pose. And we are going to find our way back to downward dog. Coming up on the heels. Looking forward, tiptoe to the top of the mat. And find a forward fold here. So feet, hips with distance, railroad track. Let your knees be soft here. Let your head hang heavy. If you have blocks, it's nice to have them underneath you. Shake your head no. Shake your head yes. And then on the reverse hip hinge, so hands at hips, think about booty back, belly strong, flat back, sweep high, and hands to heart center. All right, we're moving into chair pose. So feet are still hips width distance, and then we're going to drop our booty back, sweep our arms high. Think about reaching forward so that weight is in your heels, your tailbone is reaching towards the mat, opposing your fingertips, which are reaching forward. If it's more comfortable to keep your hands at heart center, go for it. Think about energetically activating your thighs towards each other. Really breathe into that. Inhale. And then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, half lift. And then exhale, forward fold. And we are going to ground down into the left foot. You're going to think about lifting your right foot up with intention, almost like a standing split, which is with your head down and your foot back. And then slowly lower that left foot. Drop back into a lunge here. And just take a moment, see what it feels like. Stay tented up on your fingertips. Your feet are in separate lanes, your hips are square, and then lower that right knee down. And left hand on the left knee, pushing yourself up so that your hips are above your knees, your one knee. Reach that right hand high. So take a moment here and find that opposition. So you're grounding down into that right shin, you're pressing in with that left hand to the left knee. You're reaching up with that right arm. Your shoulder blade is plugged in though. And feel a stretch through the front of that left, or that right thigh, right leg. Maybe even look up and find a little bit of a little backward length, but you're pressing into that back shin so much. And then coming up to, and we're going to find actually revolved. So tuck that right foot under, press in. You can stay with your knee down, that's no problem, but if you're moving on, find a regular crescent here, and then reach that right arm forward and that left arm back, but keep those hips square and the heel pressing back. So shoulder blades squeezing, arms reaching. Beautiful. Then come up to regular traditional crescent forward, both arms up. Think about hips level. Think cactus arms here, so bending the elbows, chest up, maybe looking up a little bit. Inhale. Sweep back. So think about flying over your left leg, but reaching with your right arm, your hands, back. Inhale, high crescent. And release down. Beautiful. Step up with that right foot. Forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, release. Now ground down to that right foot and lift that back leg up. Start at hips height here, and then bending into that right knee, just gently lower that back leg down into a lunge. Just rock a little bit here. And then lowering that right knee down, untucking the right foot, left knee down, untucking the left foot, walking your hands up, bring that foot in a little bit, right hand onto the right knee, sweeping that left hand high, and then take a moment to feel that length. So really pressing down, even from the big toe to the pinky toe side of the foot, the whole left leg is fired up, reaching high here with the left hand, maybe even a little bit back. And then coming forward, we're going to go ahead, if you want to move on, and untuck that back foot, pressing into, straighten that left leg, and then we're going to find that twist on this side. So right arm back, left arm forward. Try to keep your torso upright. Try to keep that knee, your knee and hip in line. Come back to center, crescent, cactus. Inhale up, and then sweep. So think about pressing through the heel here and the crown of the head. This is a very challenging pose. Inhale high, and release down. Beautiful. We're going to step back into downward dog. Take a moment to pedal it out. You can stay here. You can move to child's pose at any time and take a break. Or if you want to do a little flow, so we're going to shift forward into plank. Either lower the knees or stay in a plank. Shift forward, lower down all the way. And find your cobra. So untuck your toes, press down, lift up, and release down. Tuck the toes, reverse table or reverse plank, up, downward dog. All right, moving into our warrior. So sweeping that left foot high. Wait, do I want to do left foot? Yes. Left foot high, hips square. Think about squeezing, then shift forward. You're going to step that left foot forward. Think about cheetah on the way, engaging the belly. And wiggle your foot up if it doesn't land the first time. Right away, before we come up, your hands are grounded. Spin your back foot down into warrior two so that you're in line, the arch is in line with the heel. And then feel free to prop yourself up with that left hand onto the left knee. Sweep forward with that right arm, like you're reaching forward, and then dial it up. And come into warrior two. So, again, perpendicular feet or whatever works for you. Depends on your anatomy. You want to think about that knee reaching towards the pinky toe side, so you always want to see that big toe. Your shoulders are above your hips. Sweep your arms wide, squeezing the shoulder blades in and then reaching out and engaging all the muscle to bone here. And you can have your gaze forward, or you can have your gaze, to the side, well, forward here, or you can be looking to the left over your left fingertips. And always think about pressing that knee away. It oftentimes wants to collapse, so you just want to keep it in line. Then we're going to reverse our warrior, so right hand lightly on the right leg, reaching up. Nothing changes with the lower body. Reaching up with the left hand, find a reverse warrior. Take a breath here. And then keeping that length, come forward. We're going to find a side angle and support it, so left elbow on the left knee. And I like to reach that right hand forward. Feel length all the way from that right toe and dial it up. Squeezing the shoulder blades. Think about belly strong here. Back leg is anchored. And then using that right arm, draw yourself up. This time straighten that front leg and find a reverse triangle. So right arm down, left arm high. And think about shifting the hips a little bit forward here to create more length, if that serves you. And then cartwheel the hands down. And we're going to walk to the right. I have my little notes because I will forget. So walking your hands to the right, turn the left toes forward so that your feet are parallel with the front and the edges of the mat. And walk your hands forward into a wide-legged downward dog here. And take a couple breaths. Try not to don't overextend your knees here, so keep your quads engaged. Think about your tailbone reaching back. And then walk your hands back underneath you, and then we're going to find a couple skaters. So I like to turn my toes out a little bit and just gently start to bend into one knee and straighten the other. Keeping the foot flat to start, and then walking, shifting toes out. It's kind of nice to prop yourself on the elbows here again. And just find what angle works for you with the foot. And walk into the other side. This time, if you want to come a little bit deeper, bend into the left knee and come up onto the right heel. That changes the sensation. And then walking to the right. Notes with you. And then bending in a little bit deeper. Only if that feels good and your body is saying okay. And toes up on the left side. And then you're gonna walk your hands to the right. Actually, sorry, no, come back to center. Get yourself squared up. Inhale, half lift here, so it's like downward dog, but half lift combo, and release. And then all you're gonna do is spin your right toes forward, and your feet should be pretty much ready for warrior two. Walk your hands forward here, so that actually your hands on either side of that right foot. And kind of get yourself positioned here. Then think about drawing that left hip back, and then grounding down the right hand, reaching with that left hand forward, and then dialing it up, and come on up to warrior two. Whew, my stance is too long. Constantly making adjustments, constantly scanning the body. All right, so again, build your pose. So the outside edge of that left foot, the back foot is really anchoring down. Your whole leg is fired up. Your belly is strong, your tailbone is lengthening. Your right knee is reaching towards the pinky toe side. It really won't look much different, but energetically you'll feel it, and it's gonna be more safe on your knee. And then really draw those shoulder blades together, and then reach out with your fingers and see what feels good on your neck. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to reverse. So left hand down, reverse your warrior. So sweep high with that right hand. Nothing changes in the lower body here. Make sure you're moving from that belly. That's your anchor point. Breathe into it. And keeping that length, come forward. Gently rest that right elbow down. Sweep that left hand high forward, and then high, stack it side angle. And right away, fire back up into that left leg if you lost your anchor. And do what feels good on your neck here. Again, look straight, look up, look down. Take a breath here. Feel your body opening. I don't know if I did this on the other side, but you may want to reach a little bit here and then draw yourself up, find that reverse triangle. So straighten that front leg, hips shift forward. You can either lightly trail with the left hand, or I like to bend my elbow and tuck it behind the right hip. And reaching high. Look up if it feels good. Beautiful, releasing down. Windmill down, come back through center. We're going to take a moment here in Goddess. So this time you want your heels in, your toes out. Sink your hips down. And you can start off, this feels really nice to have your hands propped up on your knees. Keep your knees and your toes in line. So same general angle, should feel the best. And really, really holding your weight here. Try to keep those shoulder blades engaged. And then maybe do that funky twist we did in the beginning of the stretch part. Bending into, we're just bringing one shoulder forward, making a little twist. And then you can stay here, or if you want to work your legs a little bit more, bring your shoulders above your hips. Think about pressing away from your knees. So your knees are going backwards. Your hips are sinking. I want to rock back and forth. Your hands can be at heart center. Your hands can be high. They can be out wide. And breathe. Feel your quads burning. One more deep inhale. And exhale, straighten, bring the toes in, heels out. Whew. Inhale, half lift. Awesome. And then just walk yourself towards the front of your mat. We're going to do one more flow. We'll step back to downward dog to start. And then we're going to end up in child's pose. So if you want to go there now, go for it. Otherwise, one more plank. Reaching down, lowering down, one nice solid plank. And then this time do a locust again. So untuck your toes, hands reach back, palms flat. Really squeezing, inhale, lift your chest up, maybe your legs up, and take 2 or 3 breaths. Really using all the muscles of the back line here. And release. Tuck your toes, come back, push yourself back, child's pose. Take a moment here, regroup. Notice if your breath has gotten shorter. Feel your heartbeat maybe against your thighs. your table, tuck your toes, lift your hips up, and then walk to the top of the mat. Forward fold. Shake your head no, shake your head yes. And then we're going to do that reverse hip hinge. So you can either do a reverse swan dive if you've got it, otherwise do that. Fingers tucked to the hips, sweep high, hands to heart center. Hands release at your side, palms forward. Take a moment to find mountain pose here. Close your eyes. Just scan your body. How does it feel? Should be feeling pretty good about now. All right, we're going to move into one standing balance and back bend combo. So dancer pose. So we're going to start off by really grounding down intentionally into that left foot and pick your knee up, hip height, heel directly below. So right away you're fired up, you're really rooting down with that left leg, your belly is so hello, transversus, keeping you in line. And then see if you can reach back, so bending the knee, well the knee's already bent. Kick the foot back, reach with the right hand. You can either reach from the outside, or if you can, the inside is a little bit better, or the inside of the ankle. That's if you're a little bit more open. And then, so whatever you can hold, and if you have a strap, that's a wonderful way to access this. So right away, I'm gonna reach for my ankle, that's the most secure, and then point the toes up. And right away, bring that right knee back in line with the left, tuck that tailbone, so engage the transversus, tailbone lengthens, and just find your balance here. I'm already feeling a stretch on that right quad, and all the way across the right pec and the shoulder. Woo! Oh my gosh, I have 2 hummingbirds on the feeder right now. Life is good here in Orchard Road. So, okay, so if this is great. This is actually the pose. If you want to move on, actually, this is a nice thing to do too, is lifting that left arm up. But again, nice flat back. We're not like bowing out. So meaning a straight back, tucking the pelvis. And then if you want to reach forward dancer, right away you're initiating with kicking the foot back. You're not moving the arm forward. Try to keep your hips in line. So pressing back, so that foot is kicking away from the body. Powerful. Belly is still strong. And then see where you go. Breathing here. Maybe looking down the barrel here of that left gun. Feel a nice stretch, it's challenging. And then as slowly as you can, come back up. Take a moment to pause if you can, release your left hand. I like to then look to the left with that foot still caught. And then very gently release it. Whew, that's a lot going on. Okay. Now ground down to the right foot. I'm going to try not to talk so much. So come up to your Karate Kid here. Square it up. Get your balance, get your rooting, ground down, stand tall. Like really stand with intention in this left leg. And then reach back. Catch your foot and your left hand from the outside is fine. And if this is where you are, be here and rock it. So right arm high, left hand holding the back of the foot. If you want to move on, try to reach for the inside of that foot, the ankle, toes up. And again, return to your center. Knees are moving towards each other always, so that they stay in line. Stay here, or start to kick into that left foot. And your body just starts to move forward on its own, tilt forward to counterbalance. Just think about hips square. So keep that left hip with the intention of moving forward. And that left foot is kicking away, away, away. My quad is fired. And breathe. And then coming back to center. See if you can pause here. Looking to the left. I invented this one. And then come back to center. Beautiful. Woo, good job. Whew. Sweep on high. Hands to heart center. Come up on your toes. And if you can, like you're sliding down a wall, like your back is sliding down. Think about your knees. We're bending your knees. We're coming down into a toe squat. So heels up, knees up, back straight, shoulders over the hips. Really break your fall if you can. Not your fall, but your slide. When you get down, knees wide, heels and feet and toes together. Tuck your elbows inside and just let your head hang heavy here like a little weevil ball. And take some deep breaths. Dancer probably got your heart rate up. And then coming forward. So we're going to find a seat here, however is most graceful for you. We're going to scoot yourself back so that you're about the middle of the mat. Move the flesh out of the way from your sits bones, legs nice and long. So right up, sit up tall. Maybe shoulders. Whew. All right. So again, hinging from the hips. And I can't go very far here, but we want to, and we're firing up in our quads. We're just going to find a gentle forward fold here. Think about flat back to start. So even if that means you can see I'm like, this is no fold, but I'm creating sensation and stretch and length on the back of my legs, which is the point. So, and as I breathe into it, my body goes, oh, okay, this isn't so bad. Maybe this actually feels good. I like to have my toes flexed towards my face here. Helps kind of anchor. Just keep breathing into it, and as your body, if your body invites you to move forward, just think about chest broad. And then, as we're reaching the end of this pose, just keep thinking about length, length, length. And then you may, if it feels good, drop your head gently, slowly. And you may even back out some from the forward lean. So you should feel a stretch across the back, what we call the thoracolumbar, the upper back, the shoulders, the neck, even the head. And soften the arms here. Keep those feet engaged on the web. Just play with it. If it feels better to let your feet go, do it. I lose the integrity of the pose when I do that, so I keep them flexed. And then inhale, walk your hands up. And we are going to bend the right knee and bring it in as close to your sits bones as you can. I got a vertebra that's not wanting to move here. Lovely. All right, sometimes yoga causes problems. Just kidding, don't tell anyone. No, seriously. You gotta be gentle. All right, so squeeze that knee in if it feels good. Otherwise, maybe just hug down the shin. If you want to try crossing that right foot to the outside of the left leg, that's nice too. We are starting to move into feeling some sensation in this right hip. If that feels good and your knees like it, you can walk that knee forward and scoot that foot back. So you start to feel a little bit more into the back of the hip here, and maybe find a forward lean. The full expression is bending both knees. So if you want to try, this is cow pose, and you can play with it. You can bend that front knee and keep that right knee up. That actually feels pretty good to me. Or maybe find more sensation by dropping that knee, stacking them. This is called cow face pose. Getting the hips away. Think about two heavy hips, sits bones making imprints. So if any of this doesn't serve you, just stop at the place where it does. Otherwise, just try to sit up nice and tall and let the muscles go in your lower body. One more inhale. And let it go. This is one of my favorite poses once I get into it. And then using the strength of your arms, unwind yourself. And then this time that right foot straightens, right leg straightens, bend that left knee, bring that left foot in, and just sit here if that feels good. If you want to cross over, that foot to the outside of the leg, sitting nice and tall. That's a place where I start to feel more sensation, and I can take a breath here. If you want to move on, try bending that front knee, that right knee. This hip gives me a little bit of problems, so I have to be it's pretty good though. So you can bend that right knee and keep that left foot or the left knee up and holding on to it. I'm going to stay here for a moment, or you can let that left knee stack over the right. And each side is going to be different, so honor that. Do not try to create symmetry. Do the same thing just because you did it on the other side. Sit nice and tall, relaxing the muscles of the legs, softening into it. Returning your awareness to your breath, we are winding down. One more final inhale. Open your mouth and let it go. Right. And using your arms, unwind. Go ahead and find your way back onto your back. Gently. Just find yourself where you're preparing for bridge. So knees are bent, heels are reaching towards your glutes. The back is nice and flat, but you can still have a nice little curve in the low back. Engage your belly here. Make sure your shoulder blades are on the ground heavy. Your chest is open. And then palms down by your sides. And then press. You want to keep your knees, hips width distance, and then press into the feet and lift your hips up. And I want you to feel like you're doing it from that transversus abdominis, not from your glutes. Your quads and your feet are very much involved here, but this is not all booty. This is trying to create length from the front of the body. Take another inhale here. And then slowly, starting from the top, roll yourself down. See if you can create more length as you flatten out. Maybe make some adjustments here. And then do one more. Inhale. Hips up. Think about your hip bones being pulled by little fishing strings up to the ceiling. And pressing into the feet. Think about activating the inner thighs, almost like you want to squeeze them together. Try to keep those glutes somewhat soft. If you want to interlace your fingers underneath your body, like a full bridge, traditional bridge, walk your shoulder blades. Interlace your fingers and then walk your shoulder blades together, but also down, and then press into those feet even more. But try to keep that curve even all the way, that whole arch distributed, so that it's not just kinking in your low back. Make sure your gaze is straight up the whole time. Anytime, come on out of it. And just stay in that starting position. One more deep breath here. And then unlace the hands, lower yourself down. You might find yourself scooting down the mat. All right, take a moment, just release. Avoid the temptation to bring your knees into your chest here. It's premature, as my dad would say. Walk your heels out, toes in. You want feet, hips width distance. Let your knees drop together. Bring your arms out to your side here, and then engaging your transversus so that the movements originate from your hips. You're going to drop from your inner deep core. Drop your knees to the right, but think about actually that left knee is pressing towards the front of the room, like almost away from you. And don't let your knees drop all the way here. Keep some muscular engagement, and then come back to center, and then knees to the left, but really it's the right knee towards the front of the room or away from you. And then come back to center, rocking back and forth. You can do it slowly, you can do it a little bit more quickly. And maybe on the third one, letting your knees drop and relaxing as close to the floor as you can. And then inhale. Let them rest on the left. to center, walking your feet back in. Make sure you have length, so pick up your booty and lay it down again, nice and long back. And then now you can bring your knees into your chest here. Give yourself a little squeeze either around the knees or behind the thighs. If you're more flexible at this point, you can try to wrap your elbows around your knees. You might want to bring your head up to do that, bring your tailbone up. So give yourself a squeeze and then slowly see if you can feel that sacrum start to release towards the mat. If you like, find a happy baby. So soles of the feet up to the ceiling, knees wide, elbows on the inside of the knees. Maybe rock a little bit side to side. Maybe straighten your legs a little bit. And then one more twist, so bring your feet down, knees bent, cross that right, actually I'll have you do it the other way. So left foot over the right knee. Press against your left thigh with your left hand. Keep your hips level and heavy. And then just let everything fall to the right. So you want to feel like that left foot wants to touch the right side of the floor. And keep that left hip moving forward. So it's really long here, and you may not make it all the way down. See if you can, or see what feels good. Find a good stopping point, and then extend that left leg. Left arm. It's called a figure 4 twist. And then on your next inhale, engage that belly and draw yourself up from the belly, not the legs. Uncross the left, cross the right over the left. Take that right hand, press that right thigh away from you, gently. And then when you've created some space, just drop those. Just feel like you're gonna just lower that right foot to the left side of the floor and extend that right arm out as an anchor and think about that hip moving forward. You should feel, should feel better if you are keeping that length, right hip. And just relax the legs here. One more nice, deep, final inhale. And exhale. Engaging that belly. Bring yourself up. Uncross, press in, reposition yourself, and then either keep your knees bent or straighten your legs, and we're going to move into our final Shavasana. So get yourself nice and flat, arms at your sides, palms up, feet can be as wide as you want, your legs can be as wide as you want, hips width or wider, let your feet just naturally fall out to the side. Make sure your chest is broad, and close your eyes. And take this opportunity to scan your body. If you started at the beginning with me, then for sure not compare, that's not the right word, that's not a yogic word concept. Just note the difference. Start to deepen your breath again. And softening everything. Make sure you're not holding tension anywhere in your body. And just take as many moments as you can to lie here in Shavasana and give some thanks to your body, for your mind, for all the blessings that we have, the ability to move our bodies, not just through this practice, but through life. With effort and ease balanced. Thank you. Namaste.